Eva heard music. She was standing outside of the big church in her hometown of Cluj, Romania, listening to the beautiful choir music coming from inside. She knew she probably shouldn't go in and try to figure out what exactly it was, but she was a curious, independent, and slightly rebellious child, so she decided to go in anyway. Her parents weren't too far behind her, and after getting her back from the church, she was carried home on her parents' shoulders without shoes, but rather than feeling embarrassed or chastised, she just laughed and said, "You guys can carry me around on your shoulders anytime you want. I don't mind." That independence and freedom she had enjoyed would slowly be taken away over the next few months and years. Germany invaded Hungary in March of 1944, and her father moved their family from Cluj, Romania to Budapest, Hungary. Her father was taken into a forced labor camp, leaving Eva and her mother to fend for themselves. After bouncing from safe house to safe house, they were finally caught by the police in the fall of 1944 and sent on a forced labor march from Budapest to Germany. The days were cold, the days were long, made even more so by the fact that the two were dressed in their light dress clothes, and Eva's mother was wearing high heels and forced to march in them day after day. Eva, only 8 years old, was put in a wagon with the rest of the children. One morning, as Eva's mother was bringing her child to sit in the wagon, she begged the guard to please let her sit with her daughter. She was tired. Her feet were inflamed, bleeding. She was in intense pain. The guard pushed her mother away. The wagon started to move. Eva lost sight of her mother. Eva heard gunshots. That night, when the other parents came to pick up their children from the wagon and take them to where they'd be staying, Eva was left alone until a kind stranger walked up and told her, "I think I know what happened. I think your mother might have escaped. Come with me, I'll take care of you." The overcrowded cattle car doors opened on a confusing, crowded scene at Ravensbrück concentration camp. People were being pulled away from each other, put in lines, yelled at. Eva was separated from that kind stranger as she went through the intake process on her own. She was standing in a field on the other side, alone again, not sure where to go, when another stranger walked up to her. She asked, "Little girl, what are you doing here? Did they give you a barrack? Did they give you a place to go?" And Eva looked up at her and said, No, I don't belong to anybody." Well, the stranger looked at her and said, No, you belong to me now. Call me Tanti." So Eva went with her Tanti to their barrack, where they would pass the cold winter nights cuddled up together in the same bed. The morning bell rang for roll call, and the other women of the barrack began to file out into the cold air. But Tanti wasn't moving. She had her arm wrapped around Eva like they always did, but as Eva cuddled up closer to her, she wouldn't wake up. Some of the other women realized what had happened. They gently pulled Eva away and brought her out into the morning air. Tanti never came out of the barrack to join her, and Eva was alone again. She was soon taken in by another kind stranger and their daughter. They shared their food, they shared their warmth. But like so many prisoners in the concentration camps, Eva was then transferred from Ravensbrück to Bergen-Belsen. The conditions at the barracks in Bergen-Belsen were, for lack of a worse word, horrible. Eva slept on the concrete floor in an overcrowded room, being bitten by bugs on her face, her hands, her arms. One day, she'd had enough. She was numb from the cold, numb from the bugs biting at her. So she slipped out of the door into the blinding sunlight to just stand there. And as she stood there, she started to hear confusing sounds coming from all around her. She couldn't quite figure out what it was until a man walked up and gently lifted her into his arms. And as she got closer, she saw that he was crying. He walked with her for a while, sat her down, reached into his pocket, and handed her a chocolate bar. Eva ate the whole chocolate bar in one sitting, even though she knew she probably shouldn't. On April 15th, 1945, the British came to liberate Bergen-Belsen concentration camp. That chocolate bar made Eva very sick, and she was sent to the infirmary, where, as fate would have it, she would run into her old landlady from Budapest. Her landlady told her, "Eva, I'll wait outside for you, and then together we'll go back to Budapest and try to rebuild our lives there." But Eva said, "No, I don't think there's anything left for me in Budapest. I think my mother and my father are dead. No, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to Sweden, and there I'm gonna live in the king's castle." Thanks to the lessons her mother gave her, the kindness and generosity of strangers in the concentration camps, and her own will to live, that little girl, that curious, slightly rebellious, independent, innocent little girl who ran chasing after music in Cluj, Romania, had survived.
I'm so honored to meet you, and I called you a mensch, and many of you know what a mensch means. In multiple ways, you really act like a mensch, and both of you, that you will carry on the story of my life. I'm so honored, because a little child at age 8 survived, and be able to share the stories with the future generation. It's so meaningful, and I thank you.
Thank you.
Eva, we promise to keep your memories and tell your story forever.
And each one is so meaningful. And I thank you.
Thank you. We'll walk you back.